Wouldn't it be cool if instead of you trying to flounder around and figure out what am I supposed to write, what is a keyword, and how am I supposed to use it, if there was a special tool you could use that not only tells you keywords and suggests ideas for keywords, but tells you how popular they are, how many people are searching for them each month so that you can get in on that conversation? Well, in today's Grow with Google webinar, I cover that and a lot more of the basics of building Google Ads. Here we go. I want you to write down micro moments. Micro moments. So micro moments, why are we writing this down? Well, it's actually a term that was coined by the leadership of Google back in about 2015, and it represents consumer psychology and really that point where your potential customers need to know, go, do, or buy. So I'm going to break it down. We do have some people here from my alma mater, University of Oregon. Let's say that you're back visiting campus in Eugene and you are in the mood for some pad thai. Now, unfortunately, I heard that Tom's Tea House is no longer there. That was my go-to. But let's say that you're looking for a place that serves Thai food or Asian cuisine. Well, you're in a micro moment. You're looking for pad thai near me, or maybe it's pizza near me or something else. That is a micro moment. Let's say that you're watching a movie. We were just doing this. We were watching Disney Plus and we saw the movie Eternals, which was amazing. And so we're like, my wife goes, I think I know that actress. And so what did we do? In a micro moment, we opened up Google, we searched for the movie, looked at the cast on IMDb, and then realized, yeah, we do know that actress from this movie. So micro moments are happening all the time, whether they're driving us to buy something or if it's just knowing, going, or doing. Why I want you to have micro moments written down is because this is what drives your potential customers to buy from you. And this specific moment in psychology is where your customers need to be when you start using Google Ads. So with micro moments in place, I want you to get an idea now of actually the average online user journey. Think about this. Next time you go, or actually if you can close your eyes and picture right now, I want you to picture the last time you were at the, let's say, the supermarket or convenience store. And you know, when you get up to the register, they have all those point of sale items, right? Those impulse buys, if you will. Well, it used to be so simple that, hey, I need a mint. Okay, I'm going to get some breath savers, or I'm going to get Listerine strips, or there's three types of gum. Now think about how many different types of gum are at the register. It's like 30 different SKUs. The chances of us just choosing something quickly, slim to none, because now what we're doing is we're actually exploring and we're evaluating. That's what consumers are doing online as well. So they might not be buying a pack of gum, but even something as simple as in this case, you needing a gift for a foodie friend. Well, it's not just, I know this place, I'm going to grab something. It's, I'm going to go online and search for foodie friend gifts or gifts for foodies. And then maybe I'll visit a website and then I'm going to read through reviews or watch a video. And then I might actually find a local storefront where I can go buy a gift card or a gift certificate, and I might send it to them. The average online consumer journey has over 140 informational touch points. I'll say that again. The average online consumer consults over 140 informational touch points. An informational touch point could be the ad that you put up, but after that, it could be your website, could be a specific page on your site, reviews that you have on Google or other places, a video that you posted on YouTube, a blog post you wrote, social posts. All of those are different information pieces that a consumer puts together as they make their decision to buy from you or someone else. This, my friends, is why micro moments are so important and why understanding today the landscape of how consumers are making decisions, both exploring and evaluating, is going to help us write better ads and ultimately win more business. So today we're going to start with a quick overview of online advertising and how Google Ads works. I'm going to walk you through the process of setting up your ads account and creating your first ad. And I'll show you two ways to create ad campaigns. Then I'm going to cover some tips for creating better ads. And after that, we'll talk about how you can measure the success of your ad campaigns. Finally, I'll wrap up the session and I'm going to share some training resources as well as answer any of your questions. Now, what you have to understand is you do not have to be a giant business, a huge business, in order to use Google Ads. Businesses large and small use Google Ads to appear on search results pages, web pages, videos, apps. To connect with your target audience and get results, you need to be found online where your potential customers can see you. And online advertising can be particularly effective when those potential customers are researching and shopping for the types of products and services you offer. What we just saw, that 140 informational touch points. So the first thing I'm going to do, I know that some of you are in the Boston area, I'm going to introduce you to Leo from WB Mason. Now, those of you on the West Coast, maybe you don't know WB Mason. It's a Boston-based company, but you're going to see how they were affected by COVID and how they really relied on Google Ads and pivoted to Google Ads in order to grow their business despite everything going on. Here we go.
WB Mason was founded in 1898 as a very small office supply company. When I got there, we were a delivery company that sold business supplies. And then we made this transition that we started to advertise on newspapers, billboards, flyers, and catalogs. And we were online, but we weren't advertising online. We were making ourselves available. If you wanted to find us, we're there, but we weren't searching for customers. They had to search for us. And then we ran into the pandemic. The next day, our billings were down 37%. On the third day, they were down over 60%. If we don't do something, we're going to go out of business.
During the shutdown, physical distancing prevented us from being in front of our customers, leaving our traditional ways of advertising to be less effective. Our customers were still shopping from their businesses, but instead of doing it from their offices, they were now doing it from their homes. Google Ads allowed us to put our products directly in front of both our current customers and new customers, and that nearly offset the complete loss of sales caused by the pandemic. To date, we have seen a 120% increase in first-time visitors referred by Google and captured a 50% increase on orders placed.
Google worked with us as a team, and they helped us improve how we functioned online. So we started to buy more keywords, and we started to spread it across all the different categories. And the bigger we got, the more business we got. All these people who work for us count on this job, and it's challenging to see if we can keep this old-time company with old-time values. Can we keep it relevant? It's not easy, but it can be done. But you need tools like Google to do it.
So did you catch the increase in new visitors coming to the site? Over 120%. This is a company who was relying on people being in the office and just placing an order through the office manager, going into their portal and saying, hey, we need paper. Now all of a sudden the world's thrown upside down, and they relied on new technology and pivoted to it in order to drive their brand in front of more people who are in that micro moment needing office supplies in that case. And the thing that you have to really pick up is that you might say that people no longer go online, they live online. That's what they realized at WB Mason. It's not just a catchy phrase, it's what the data shows. In a 2019 study, almost half of surveyed shoppers said they use Google to discover new products. And more than half said they use Google to research their purchases. So let me ask you, I'm going to put it out to you. In the questions box, how many of you use Google to discover new products? Type in the word discover. How many of you use Google to research your purchases? Type in research. And if you do both, type in both. Let me know. This is our first poll. And I'm seeing discover, both, research, discover, research, both, a whole bunch of boths coming in. Yeah, as most of us do, right? We're going to be going on and discovering and researching, or as I was saying before, exploring and evaluating. Different words, same meaning. Now, let me explain to you how ads work on Google. It all starts when someone wants to know something, go somewhere, buy something, or do something. Ring a bell? Micro moments. So let's imagine someone is searching for a gift for a friend. They grab whatever device is handy, computer, laptop, tablet, smartphone, visit Google in order to discover those new products. So they want to search for an answer. Now, they're not sure what they're looking for, so they type in a word or phrase that describes what they need. Maybe it's gift for a book lover. We had already covered gift for foodies. That's called a search query. And that basically is to see what turns up. The first thing I want you to write down from this slide is search query. Right here, when you see Google, when you go to google.com and you see that field where you can type in or click the microphone or say, hey, Google, all of those, whatever you type in this box or say to Google Assistant, that's a search query. You can search however you want. And as a marketer, you have to understand your customers in their micro moment can search however they want to. We can't dictate a search query. We can't tell someone how to search. We can anticipate how they'll search. Now, in this case, we're using Google Ads. So here's what happens. Google shows a search results page, a list of websites and info resources related to that search query. And that search page may include relevant ads. Now, ads are chosen by an advertiser auction. It's running in real time. In a matter of milliseconds, Google will determine the auction winner and display it on the search results page. And whether or not a particular ad is offered, there's plenty of different variables that go into it. It depends on how the ad was set up. Now, that includes the ad's bid and the advertiser's budget. And the bid is the maximum amount an advertiser will pay for a click. Well, there's other things that go into it too. We're going to cover those. Now, there's many different ad format options: text ads, image ads, shopping ads, dynamic search ads, call-only ads, video ads, quite a few. Today, we're going to focus on text ads. Text ads can appear on Google search results pages and across the display network. And the display network, just so you know, is basically a network of partner websites that shows Google ads. You may have heard the terms PPC or CPC. They stand for pay per click, as you see on the screen right here, or cost per click. Now, text ads on Google search use a PPC pricing model. This means advertisers like you pay for ad clicks, not simply to appear on the search results page. We're not paying for impressions. We're not paying for thousands of people to see us and not take action. We're paying for the action, the actual click. Now, the display network offers other bidding options. Today, we're just talking about text ads on Google search. Before using many of Google's products and services, you need to have a Google account. Most of you probably do. If you use Gmail, you definitely do. If you've ever created a Google Doc, sheet, slide, you definitely do. If you're not sure, go to google.com and see when you click on sign in, you might see that either it prompts you for an email, then you can click right here on create account. Otherwise, you can log in with your Google account information and you'll be able to use the tools that I'm about to show you. After you've signed into your Google account, you're going to visit g.co/ads to set up your ads account. And on this screenshot, you see here, you can click on Start Now, this blue button on the main screen, or up in the top right, Start Now again. Now, when you first open your ads account, Google will take you through steps to set up what's called a smart campaign. Smart campaigns are Google's solution for small businesses. Smart campaigns use Google's technology to automate campaign management to help reach business goals. Now, to start, you would select one of 3 goals for your ad. And if you have more than one goal, you can create more than one ad. In this case, we're looking at getting more calls, getting more website sales or signups, or getting more visits to your physical location. Way back when you thought of Google Ads, it was about clicks. All about clicks. How can I get someone to click to my website? It's evolved, just like everything in technology has evolved. So I want you to understand your advertising goal doesn't just have to be about getting clicks to your website. Now we can get more calls. If you're really good on the phone, if you can have someone call you, you have the gift of gab, you can talk to them, build a rapport, and ultimately drive that first consultation, get them to sign up, get them to do a trial run, then your advertising goal should be more calls. If you have an e-commerce site, then maybe we're going to drive them to our website and get more clicks. Now, you don't just have to sell something, you could also get them to join your mailing list or join or download an ebook or some asset. And finally, if you're driving people in, you have a physical location, we can get them to actually get directions to our physical location, all through a smart campaign. So next, you're going to enter in your business name. This is the name that you want your future customers to see and know. It does not need to include LLC, Inc., any of those. For all of you, just so you understand, when you build your business, for instance, my legal entity is BJC Branding LLC. That is an ugly name to go put out everywhere. So I don't want to do that. Instead, we operate as or do business as Bryan Caplan Marketing. So my business name here would be Bryan Caplan Marketing. The Spice House here might be the Spice House Inc. or the Spice House LLC. You don't have to include the legalese, the LLC or anything like that. Just your branded business name. Next, you're going to enter the website address you want people to visit. I want you to write down and really write this, star it, highlight it, underline it, circle it, whatever you got to do. This link, this URL that you put in does not need to be your homepage. It could be, but let's walk through an example. So let's say, okay, we're coming into springtime, spring cleaning. I like to use the idea of a hardware store. So let's say that a hardware store is advertising leaf blowers because all of those leaves were left on the ground. Maybe if you're in the Northeast, they were piled on by snow. Now we want to remove them so the grass can grow. So the ad is for leaf blowers. Close your eyes and envision this for a second. You see an ad, you look at your yard, okay, the snow is melted, now there's leaves everywhere, wet, mucky leaves, we got to get them out. And close your eyes, I want you to envision an ad for leaf blowers. Now I want you to envision, you click on it. What should you see? Should you see a page about leaf blowers? Or should you see a homepage for a website that talks about rakes, leaf blowers, sand, gravel? You see what I'm getting at? What we're trying to do when we create an ad is we're trying to set an expectation. Hey, when you click on this ad, here's what you're going to learn about, here's what you're going to get, and we need to deliver on that expectation. When someone clicks on that leaf blower ad, they should be brought to a page selling leaf blowers. That, my friends, is why this URL that you put into this specific step of building a smart campaign does not need to be your homepage. It could be a specific page on your site. Next, you're going to write your text ad. Now, ads have 3 headlines, 2 description lines. And during the setup, what's going to happen is you'll be able to add in clickable phone number that can help searchers on smartphones connect directly by initiating a call from your ad. We're going to talk more about writing effective ads a little later. In smart campaigns, you'll be asked to select keyword themes. This is where it differs. So if you've built ads before, this might be different. Keyword themes should be related to the product or service being advertised. Not everything in your store or everything that your business sells. Again, think to the leaf blower. We're only talking about leaf blowing, spring cleaning, leaf removal, yard cleanup. We're not talking about gravel and hardscapes and a gazebo kit and all these other things. Just trying to stick to that one product or service we're advertising. Now, the system's going to suggest themes for you. You can turn them off if they're not a good fit for your ad. You can add more themes. There may be suggestions to choose from again. Remember, though, the theme should match the message in this specific ad, not everything your business has to offer. So next, you would select a geographic area or locations where your ads are going to appear. And Google Ads gives you a variety of options. You could choose zip codes, cities, regions, or a radius around your address. If you're using a radius, you can target from 3 to 40 miles around the location. Now, you can also choose, I get this question quite a bit. Okay, could I advertise in a state? Yes, you could. Could I advertise in multiple states? Yes, you could. But again, let's think about if we're creating a campaign and we're trying to sell something, maybe one state is going to have different culture, different way of communicating, different verbiage that you would use. So if I'm going to advertise something in the north versus something in the south, there may be some kind of niceties that I want to factor in. I might change up the way that I write my text or the image that I use. So I want you to think about that. It's not about creating this wide blanket ad that's going to cover everywhere, because the more people we hit, it's a numbers game. No, we want to be very clear about who's our audience, what are we advertising. Okay, let's hit that area. And then if we want to try it with a different state or a different region of the country, maybe we can create a different campaign. It's easy to create new campaigns. You'd follow the same steps I'm showing you right here. So after that, you're going to set your budget. Here's what I want you to note. You choose a daily average budget. Your average daily budget is the average amount you could spend each day. So on this screenshot, it shows you that you'll see several options for budgets, one labeled recommended. You can toggle between those. You can also enter your own budget. Now with smart campaigns, you're ultimately setting a maximum monthly budget. While your daily ad spend may vary, the total amount that you spend in a month will not exceed your maximum monthly budget. And I'll kind of give you, without getting too mathematical, I'll give you a very quick idea of how it's calculated. So Google Ads is going to multiply your average daily budget by 30.4. That's the average number of days in a month. Remember, some months 30, 31, and then we have 28, or 29, depending on the year. So the average daily budget times 30.4 equals your maximum monthly budget. Now, if you increase your budget in the middle of a billing period, the maximum amount that you'll be charged for that month will be basically increase by the average daily budget times the remaining number of days. If you receive fewer clicks than you budgeted for, you'll only be charged for the clicks you received. Let me say that again. If you receive fewer clicks than you budgeted for, you'll only be charged for the clicks that you received. For example, if you set a maximum monthly budget of $50, but you receive only $13 of clicks, you will only be charged for $13, pay per click, PPC. The rest of that budget, it gets basically washed away and you start over fresh the next billing cycle. To finish, you'll have an opportunity to review your campaign settings and make any changes. And you'll be asked to enter in your payment info, and you can also set up conversion tracking, which is optional. Last, you can review your campaign at any time to make changes. One thing that I want to point out is ad scheduling. Ad scheduling is useful if you don't want your ads shown during hours when your business is closed, such as nights or weekends. So let's use the example of Tom's Tea House again, because when I think of Eugene and all my fun times, I think of how I would go over there to Tom's Tea House. It was right off 13th, and I would go and order pad thai with my friends. Well, let's say that Tom's Tea House was advertising pad thai. Okay. Well, they're not open after, maybe 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. They don't want those ads to be showing to students after hours. So they could use ad scheduling to make sure that they're only showing up when they're open and they can drive in business. This can apply whether you're trying to drive phone calls or if you're trying to drive in-person visits. Now, if you're driving people to your website, that might be totally different. Of course, if you have e-commerce, you could show it all the time because someone might be up at 1 or 2 in the morning, can't sleep, and oh, you know what? I could use this product they buy. So again, it all plays into what you're trying to accomplish, your goal for your ads. Now, the campaign I just showed you and that we just set up is called a smart campaign. Some advertisers with more experience choose to set up what we call expert mode. And expert mode offers the full range of Google Ads features and campaign types. It gives advertisers more complete control over their bidding strategies, but it also requires more complex management. This is why we recommend it for advanced marketers and advertisers. Now, in expert mode, you can create search campaigns, display campaigns, video, app, shopping campaigns. And the chart on this slide compares smart campaigns with search, and then basically search campaigns created in expert mode. Both campaigns show ads in the same places on google.com, but expert mode is better suited for experienced marketers who need advanced controls, tools, and reporting to manage their ads. To get strong results with this type of campaign, it's recommended that you manage it on a daily basis. So as I mentioned at the beginning of the workshop, we're focusing on text ads. I showed you how to create an ad using smart campaigns. Now I'm going to show you how to use expert mode to create a text ad that will show up in Google search. One thing I want to note, you do not have to do this. If smart campaigns was too much for you already and you're already feeling a little overwhelmed, no worries. I'm just speaking to some of the more advanced marketers who have a little bit more experience and may want to use expert mode. So no worries, you do not have to do this. I'm just showing you how you can switch. And when you're creating a smart campaign at the bottom, you can click on switch to expert mode. When you're in expert mode, you're going to click on plus new campaign. And then you'll select a goal. You'll need to select a campaign type. To create a standard search campaign, you just click on the option labeled search. And a side note here, if you're here and you decide you'd rather create another smart campaign, all you have to do is click on the express option. It will bring you back to smart campaigns. Once you get used to setting up ads, you're going to want some strategies to improve them. Remember, you can always edit an ad after it's already running. And early in the training, I showed you just a little bit about writing your ad, but here's more information on it. Headlines appear at the top of your ad. They can be up to 30 characters. You have 3 headlines, so you have a maximum of 90 characters. A character is a letter, a space, a number, a punctuation mark, okay? Your headlines and other parts of your ad, including extensions, may show in different configurations based on the device that a potential customer is using. So if they're on a computer, laptop, desktop, they might see more. If they're on a smartphone, they might see limited options. And again, Google Ads knows the device they're on, so it will show the appropriate ad. Now, your ad's description lines appear below the display URL, and they can be up to 90 characters. So you have 2 description lines for a total of 180 characters. As you see on the screenshot, you will see a visual representation of what your ad will look like as you fill out these different spaces right here, as you fill out your headlines and your description. Now, like the title, your description and other parts of the ad may show in different configurations. The last piece, the final URL, is the page on your website that people reach after clicking your ad. And again, it may not be your homepage. It should match what your ad promotes. So it's important to focus on showcasing the most relevant and compelling information in your ad. A promotion and a call to action for your potential customers can also encourage clicks. Now, a great ad highlights what makes your product or service unique. You might want to include prices, promotions, exclusives, empower customers to take action, and also include at least one of your keywords. Always check spelling and grammar. Typos look unprofessional and they can hurt an otherwise compelling ad campaign. I'm going to bring it back. You remember when we first started talking about micro moments? That moment where a consumer needs to know, go, do, or buy? Well, when someone's in a micro moment, they're evaluating, right? So they're looking at all this information. Remember, the average online consumer journey, 140 informational touch points. If they're looking at all this information really quick, and then they see your ad and it has misspellings, grammatical errors, typos, well, they're already in that analytical evaluation stage. They're going to say, you know what, their attention to detail, this business owner's attention to detail isn't there. I don't know that my buying experience is going to be there. It's very simple for a consumer to kind of think that way and extrapolate based on what they see. So we want to make sure we proofread it. Now, the other thing that you're going to see is I want you to use calls to action. Using calls to action, very important. I've actually come up with a list to give you an idea, just some thought starters, if you will. So it could be as simple as get started, join free, give XYZ company a try, send a gift, sign up, reserve your seat, claim your spot, check it out, or if you're a nonprofit, donate or support. There's plenty of calls to action. As I always say, when in doubt, Google it out. Go to Google and type in calls to action examples or best calls to action for real estate agents or for restaurants. And you'll probably see curated lists of calls to action that you can start using not only in your ads, but in your social posts, your emails, your blog posts. Calls to action, very important aspect of marketing. You're telling the consumer what to do. Now, here's a few more ways that you can improve your ads. If you're in expert mode, you can create very specific target audiences and ad groups so that your ads appear to more relevant customers. You also want to include keywords that directly relate to the specific theme of your ad, your website, product, or service, so it's easy for your target audience to find. If you're creating a smart campaign, Google takes care of keywords for you. I'll talk more about keywords in a sec. No matter what version of ads you're using, create simple, enticing ads that stand out from the competition. Offer a solution to a customer's pain point. Offer them the access to a promotion, an exclusive savings event, or showcase unique features. We already talked about calls to action. Make sure you're adding those in. And also know that, again, I had told you, you can create multiple campaigns. You can also test multiple ads. So within one campaign, you might have 2, 3, 4 different ads. You can test them against each other. Marketing is part art, part science. The art is the fun stuff, kind of coming up with the graphics, writing, all that fun stuff that basically makes your brand bigger than life. Everybody wants to be a part of it. The science comes in that you're measuring and you're testing and you're trying out new things. We want to make sure that we're experimenting, trying new ad versions so that we can see which one works better. So if you create a smart campaign, you're going to take advantage of keyword themes. And these themes help the system automatically generate keywords for your campaigns. They're called search phrases. Search phrases are automatically generated based on the selected keyword themes. And that's why it's so important to choose accurate keyword themes so your ads can appear for the right customers. Now, smart campaigns will determine how precisely search phrases need to match the searcher's query. Remember, we talked about you can't dictate how someone searches their search query, you can anticipate it. That's what smart campaigns is doing. It also determines how much of your budget should be allocated to an individual click. That's called a bid. It's the max amount you would pay for a click on your ad within your budget. With smart campaigns, you can't add additional search phrases, but you can remove them if they aren't a good fit for your business. If you're building a search campaign in expert mode, you're going to use keywords, not search phrases. And keywords are not created automatically in expert mode. You have to create and manage the keywords that can trigger ads. So here's a tip that can help you create an effective keyword list. Implementing match types. On this screen, we're looking at some different match types, okay? Match types control how precisely the search query needs to match your keyword. Broad match, Google Ads automatically runs your ads on related variations of your keywords, including synonyms, misspellings, and many other related searches, including searches that don't contain the keyword terms. If you want to be more restrictive, you might use phrase match. So phrase match is surrounded by quotation marks. You can show your ad to customers who are searching for your exact keyword and close variants of your exact keyword, maybe with additional words before or after. Phrase match is more targeted than broad match, but it's more flexible than the third option, which is exact. So exact has staples or square brackets around the words. With exact match, you can show your ad to customers who are searching for your exact keyword or close variants of your exact keyword. Close variants include searches for keywords with the same meaning as the exact keywords, regardless of spelling or grammar similarities between the query and the keyword. Of the 4 keyword matching options, exact match gives you the most control over who sees your ad, and it can result in higher click-through rate. It can also, what it does is it takes your pool of people that might see your ad and limits it, but it's more quality over quantity. And finally, negative keywords. Great example. This is a search campaign for a spice shop. Well, if people are searching for Spice Girls, And that doesn't really have to do with the spices we're selling at Trade Street Jam or with whatever the spice shop is. So we want to use negative keywords, and that's denoted with a little hyphen or negative sign, subtraction sign in front of the word. And that means anybody searching for Spice Girls, our ads would never show up. Now, there's a whole bunch of tools you can use to discover keywords. One of them, and I actually made a video about it, is called the Keyword Planner. Keyword Planner lives inside Google Ads. It's in expert mode, does not mean that you need to create an ad in expert mode, but it actually is a really helpful tool. It helps you discover new keywords. You can see the average monthly search volume for keywords. So right here, we see that these two selected, spice websites and order spices, they get an average monthly search of 100 to 1,000, meaning 100 to 1,000 people are searching for spice websites or order spices. Hey, that could be good. We might actually want to create ads for that because we could win some of that customer search traffic. It also helps us organize keywords. And with Keyword Planner, if you're using expert mode, you can develop new campaigns. Now, ad extensions show extra business information with your ad, like an address, phone number, store rating, or more web page links. You can see how this looks in the screenshot here. In Smart Campaigns, these get set up automatically. If you're creating a search campaign in expert mode, you can add more extensions, price extensions, promotion, structured snippets, app extensions, automated extensions. In this screenshot, you can see the information you might add in the price extension and how it will change the look of your ad. As you're going through, you can navigate and see, and there are helpful resources within Google Ads to tell you about these different extensions. The last part of your ad process is measuring the success of your campaigns. If you're not measuring, you're not marketing. Now, when we first set up ads, we talked about having a goal for each ad or campaign, right? So it might be, again, getting phone calls, driving store traffic, or getting clicks to your website or signups. Now, with your goals, the big thing that I want you to think about is what is a hyper goal or a very specific goal for a product or service I'm offering. It's no longer enough that we just say, hey, we're here, this is our business, click to see more. We have to, again, capture a customer or consumer in their micro moment, in that moment where they're both exploring and evaluating their options. And we have to give them or deliver them to a place where they can act on that micro moment. When they need to buy something, they see our ad, they click, they're able to buy. They're able to schedule a consultation, they're able to set up a phone call, able to get directions to our storefront, whatever it is. When you're creating ads, I want you to have a goal of what you want people to accomplish once they click on that ad. After your ads start running, you can view reports that show the ad's performance. And to interpret reports, you need to understand some terminology. So really quick, impressions. How many times your ad was displayed, whether it was clicked on or not. Next time you go to a restaurant, let's say you go to a fast food restaurant, let's say McDonald's, Burger King, whatever. I want you to look over at the soda machine and notice what brand it is, Coke or Pepsi. And then every time you look at that soda machine, that's an impression for Coke or Pepsi. Now, you're not necessarily filling up the drink, you're sitting at the table or you're standing in line waiting to order, but you might turn and see that Coke or Pepsi 5, 10, 20 times. That's 5, 10, or 20 impressions of that brand. Clicks, when someone clicks your ad. So they might click on the actual text of it. Google Ads counts that as a click. Impressions and clicks combined help learn another important term, click-through rate, CTR. It's not shown on this slide, but click-through rate basically tells you how many people have seen your ad and end up clicking on it. A conversion is an action that's counted when someone interacts with your ad. Now, again, this could be them clicking to your website or clicking to get directions or clicking to call. So conversions aren't just clicks to the site, it depends on your ad goal. Smart Campaigns offer simplified reports, impressions, clicks, calls, and conversions, which are optional. And this screenshot shows what a Smart Campaign looks like. with just a few reported details and a very easy to read format. Search campaigns in expert mode offer detailed reports, ad groups, ads, landing pages, keywords, demographics, and more. So you can see a little bit more detail here in the expert mode. It shows a line graph and multiple columns of information. Again, this shows you the difference between building on smart campaigns and getting your hands dirty in the sandbox of expert mode. Now, one thing I'm going to recommend for all of you, even if you aren't ready to start using Google Ads, which is totally fine. Listen, we've built hundreds upon hundreds of websites. Every website we've built has Google Analytics installed. I highly recommend that you have Google Analytics installed on your website. On top of that, if you're going to start using Google Ads, you can link your Google Ads account to Analytics, and it lets you see the full customer cycle. So going back, I could see, okay, 1,000 people saw my ad, 100 people clicked on it. Well, what happens after those 100 people click on it? Let's think back. I'm going to actually think back again because thinking of Oregon, it's a big track school, right? Bill Bowerman, everything else. So let's think about a 4x4 relay. You have the first runner sprinting, okay, they pass the line, pass the baton to the second runner sprinting, okay. Now the third runner is going to be Google Ads. Google Ads is sprinting around the track. It goes to hand the baton. If you don't have analytics installed or connected or linked with Google Ads, that baton is handed to no one. It drops. There's no anchor in the race. So instead, if we have analytics installed, now when someone clicks on Google Ads and that runner goes around the track, that runner hands off to Google Analytics. Now we can see the user experience on the website, that user journey. Okay, they were delivered to that specific page we said, but did they click over to About Us? Did they look at our reviews? Did they read a blog? Did they watch a video? Now we're able to see that whole user journey, the full customer cycle. Those insights make us better marketers. So to start collecting basic data, again, you're going to install analytics, g.co/analytics. And again, you'll have your Google account, you'll be signed in, and it's simple to start. It walks you through a process called a wizard, and then you're given a little piece of code to install on your website. Okay, recap and resources. Before I jump into that, let me ask you all, did you learn something new today? Did you learn something that maybe you had heard before and it reinforced it? Is there something brand new? Was there a light bulb moment, epiphany, lightning struck? If you did, in the questions box, give me an oh yeah, heck yeah, give me another go ducks, whatever it is. And if you're feeling generous, share your learning moment, your aha moment with us, and I'll read it off. But I'd love to know if you picked up something today in the past 50 minutes. I'll give you just a minute to do that before we get to resources and I answer your questions. Okay, yes, but a little fast. Yeah, Nina, there's a lot of information in here. I get it. Don't worry, you're going to get a recording of this so you can rewatch, you can play, pause, and put it into action. Good stuff. Yes, go Hokies. Hey, good. Go Hokies. There you go. Elizabeth, most definitely. It's starting to all make sense. Love that. Richard, definitely all new for me. Okay. Janet, difference between smart and expert campaigns. Awesome. Jameson, yep. Okay. Good. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Anna. Awesome. Okay, we're getting some good stuff here. So again, we go back to this whole idea of that customer journey. 140 average informational touch points before they make a buying decision. Text ads are a good starting point. There are many opportunities for you to showcase your products and services. So at the beginning of this class, I showed you this so that you could understand the consumer mindset, where they are. Now that you have a better idea of the consumer mindset and we've found one way or identified one way for you to capture their attention through an ad, I also want you to think about your holistic brand presence, your digital presence, if you will. The information you're putting up on your website, that you're sharing in your email campaigns, that you're making videos about, or writing blog posts, or publishing social posts. I want you to think of all of that, because all of those different pieces of content that you put out there are those informational touch points that your customers need in that micro moment to choose you. Now, if you want to sharpen your business and marketing skills, there's Primer. You can go to g.co/primer, download the free Primer app. 3 to 5 minute, easy to understand lessons. And this is something where instead of reading the news or looking at what people are feeding their cats and dogs on social media, you can sharpen your skill set. If you really want to become an expert at Google Apps for Business, visit Skillshop. Formerly Academy for Ads, Skillshop's a one-stop training center for everyone who uses Google professional tools. There's training on Google Ads, analytics, Google business profiles. So you can go to g.co/Skillshop. So this workshop was brought to you by Grow with Google. And if not for Grow with Google, I wouldn't be able to do what I love every single day. I hope that that comes through in this class, in kind of my tone and the energy that I'm trying to drive through the screen for you. I also just want to, this is kind of a sentimental moment for me, because I'm reconnecting with my alma mater. And for me, going to University of Oregon was very impactful. One of my greatest mentors there was the president of the university, Dave Frohnmeyer, who's since passed, and may he rest in peace. But he had a very profound impact on my life and my ability to speak, my public speaking skills. So a lot of what you saw today came from my time cultivating at University of Oregon. So I thank all of you at the University of Oregon for what you're doing in breeding the future business owners and future business leaders of the world. So there you go. Another Grow with Google class in the books. Hopefully this class brought you value. You're welcome to join me at future classes and register for free by going to bryancaplan.com/events. I hope to see you soon. Until then, stay well, stay healthy, stay happy, and here's to your success.